Hi guys, I hope you're having a good day. Today I wanted to talk about forgiveness, and I've learned a lot from this book, Unpunishable, and I recommend you read it. It's really good. So I want to start with a question. What if someone isn't sorry? How can you forgive them if they're not sorry? And that's something that I have struggled with before. And so the next question is, okay, they're not sorry, but what if I can't forgive them? And Matthew 18, verse 23 to 35, the parable of the unforgiving servant, kind of says clearly that if we can't forgive people that have wronged us, then we are going to be in trouble, and we are going to start stepping ourselves out of the covenant that we have with Jesus, the new covenant, that he forgives us so that we can forgive others. And at the end of the parable of the servant, the master throws that servant into jail. So if it's important to forgive, and it's clear that we should be forgiving, why can we still find it hard? So in the book Unpunishable, there are 4 or 5 amazing parts about this, and there's lots of detail about this, and I've summed it up with some questions. So why is it sometimes hard to forgive? Well, firstly, have our hearts hardened? In Ezekiel 36, 26 to 27, it talks about us getting new hearts when we enter into this new covenant with Jesus, and a spirit inside of us, a soft heart instead of a hard heart. So if our hearts are softened and we fully understand what God has done for us, it will be much easier to forgive others. So if we're struggling with that relationship with God that we have, is it that we are struggling to trust him truly? Are we not sure that he can actually look after us and protect us and prosper us, and to forgive us completely of our own sin? If that's the case, if we're not sure about that, do we need to forgive God in our hearts if we have been mistrusting him for a while, and then ask for his forgiveness for that? Or does the thing that's happened to us feel very hurtful and very painful, to the point where we feel like a victim to it, and it has become more powerful than God's own power and authority in our lives? Does it feel more powerful than that? If it does, then we have kind of put the thing that's happened, or the person, on the kind of throne in our lives, rather than God. He's not on the throne at that point. We are not trusting him at that point, and that definitely makes it hard not to forgive. And if that's the case, then it's really good at that point to go and talk to someone like Bev or Nikki, who can help us with something called healing prayer, and guide us through what might be going on in our hearts. And because it can be hard to perceive it, even sometimes it's hard even to know yourself, isn't it? Sometimes you might feel disconnected from your own heart. I felt that many times, and it's really helpful to work with someone else who has got discernment and has walked a journey, and can help you pinpoint things and work out what's going on. So that's kind of all I wanted to say. This book has so much more in it. I really can't emphasize that enough. This is the 4th version of this video, because the first one was 9 minutes, and then the second one was 6 or 7 minutes, and so I've had to make it much smaller. So please do go and read this book. If any of this is sounding interesting or is lodging with you in some way, read this book, because it's so good. And think about healing prayer if any of this is making you uncomfortable. Thank you so much for listening.